Hi, this is Phil Newman from Longevity.Technology, and I'm joined today at the Buck Institute by Daniel Clemens of Cyclarity. Daniel.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here today.
Daniel, let's talk a little bit about your role at the organization. What is it you do?
My name is Daniel Clemens. I'm the Director of Biology at Cyclarity Therapeutics.
Great. So you guys are doing some very exciting things with cyclodextrins. Could you maybe just expand a little bit about what you're doing at the moment?
Absolutely. So the fundamental driver of atherosclerotic disease are a cell type called macrophages. And we found out through research that these cells become inhibited by oxidized cholesterol. So we've designed and engineered a class of cyclodextrins that can bind oxidized cholesterol to disinhibit the macrophages and allow them to clean up plaque and reverse atherosclerosis.
So UPD-003, your lead candidate, how does that actually work?
How it works is that it's been designed to have a specific shape that corresponds to the shape of the oxidized cholesterol that we believe is causing macrophages to become foam cells. Now, foam cells make up a large part of atherosclerotic lesions, and they're also pro-inflammatory cell types. So they in turn recruit more macrophages to the site, which become inhibited by the 7-KC in the plaque. And this cycle continues until the plaque grows and grows until it bursts and causes a heart attack or stroke.
So in terms of what you're actually doing with this now, so we're talking about disease reversal in many respects. How does this actually work at a cellular level?
Right. So the exciting thing is that what we're doing is allowing your body's cells, your own immune system, your macrophages, to reinvigorate their self-repair mechanism. So macrophages are quite extraordinary cells. They have the capability to do something called phagocytosis, which is to engulf or eat other cell types and other types of debris. Now, normally macrophages can monitor your cardiovascular system and your vasculature and eat up or engulf some of the cholesterol and calcium that's found there. Now, once they engulf too much of this oxidized cholesterol, what happens is they no longer have the ability to do phagocytosis. What we've been able to show with our experiments in the lab is that application of our compound, and therefore the removal of 7-KC from these cells, allows them to regain their phagocytic function. So these cells that were once foam cells, pro-inflammatory, bad guy type cells, are now reinvigorated to be the guardians of your immune system once again. In that way, we think we can actually allow your body to take apart the plaques in a slow, controlled manner from the inside out.
So you're talking about two things, really. First of all, a treatment to reverse, but also the concept of prevention as well.
Absolutely. So what we know about 7-ketocholesterol, 7-KC, is that it builds up over long periods of time, decades. And it corresponds to the time period over which you build up atherosclerotic plaque. So perhaps something that most people aren't aware of is that sometime in your mid-30s through your 40s and to the rest of your life, everyone accumulates some amount of atherosclerotic plaque. Those timescales match up with the accumulation of 7-ketocholesterol. So while we do want to reverse lesions, treat people who already have atherosclerotic disease, eventually we see and envision our compound being used to prevent the accumulation of 7-KC in the first place. So something like dosing people earlier in their lives to prevent 7-ketocholesterol from ever causing your macrophages to become foam cells and preventing the atherosclerosis before it even starts.
Fascinating. So you've really got two patient populations. What would be the protocol for dealing, first of all, with the preventative side of things? What sort of age, what sort of dosage, what sort of cycle are you talking about?
Well, that's an interesting question. We're actually starting with the other group of patients, people who already have established atherosclerotic disease. First of all, from a strategic point of view, it makes it easier to make the argument to payers and regulators that we're actually treating people who already have a disease. The clinical trials you need to run to show prevention efficacy take a much longer time, as you can imagine. So in our strategy, we're first going after people who have established disease, and that protocol looks something like 3 to 5 injections over 2 to 3 weeks to knock that level of 7-ketocholesterol down to baseline, to 0 essentially, and then probably no retreatment again for another couple of decades until the 7-KC reappears. In that intervening time, your immune system, uninhibited by the presence of 7-ketocholesterol, will be able to not only reverse the atherosclerotic plaque, but continue monitoring your vascular system to prevent the establishment of more plaque.
It's really fascinating work that you're doing and groundbreaking. It must feel quite special to be where you guys are at the moment.
Absolutely. It's a really exciting time to be here at Cyclarity, and it's really exciting to be in the area of cardiovascular disease in general. Cardiovascular disease, while a lot of progress has been made over the last 20 or 30 years with cholesterol drugs such as the statins and PCSK9 inhibitors, not a lot other than cholesterol management has been addressed. There's been renewed interest and activity in the field, and we're happy to be a part of the next round, the next generation of treatments that hopefully can reverse the disease of atherosclerosis rather than just treat its symptoms.
This really sounds fascinating. So we're talking about atherosclerosis. Your lead candidate is focused on that at the moment. What else is in the pipeline? This sounds fascinating.
Well, our lead compound goes after, as I mentioned, 7-keto-cholesterol as its target. There are other targets that accumulate with diseases of aging. For instance, in age-related macular degeneration, there's a molecule that builds up over time that we think we can target using our platform. Additionally, we're using our platform to engineer next-generation versions of our compound, and we think that 7-keto-cholesterol actually is the driver of more diseases than only atherosclerosis. There's the potential for us to go after things as wide-ranging as Alzheimer's disease, age-related macular degeneration, kidney disease, liver disease, and stroke.
Wow, so you're really picking up a lot of the diseases of aging, right?
That's correct. We think that due to its nature, 7-keto-cholesterol building up over time, over decades, actually is the causative trigger for many of the diseases of aging, because it does induce cells into a senescent or quasi-senescent state. And we know through the research of a great many researchers that senescent cells are the driver of a lot of the diseases of aging.
So Daniel, from a career perspective as well as a personal perspective, this must be a fascinating company to be working with.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to be part of the team here at Cyclarity. It's been a great opportunity, and I think it represents a unique new avenue for pharmaceutical development, wherein we're actually going after targets that are toxic molecules in the body rather than just altering the body's biochemistry through pharmacological means.
Well, best of luck to you and your colleagues. It sounds like great work.
Great. Thank you very much.